Welcome to a nation operating on its own clock. Literally. According to the ancient Ge'ez calendar, the year is currently 2018, and a single year holds 13 months. This is the uncolonized pride of Africa. It is a true cradle of human history, defined by monumental engineering like this solid rock-hewn cross church at Lalibela. But right beside the ancient history is a modern financial extreme. Right now, a foreign currency holder can buy a massive local feast for $1.50, or rent a spacious, highly secure apartment for under $300. You have to weigh those numbers against the friction on the ground. Entry requires clearing strict immigration checkpoints, and international travel warnings remain active for several regional borders due to ongoing internal tensions. The viral hype around moving to Ethiopia is fragmented. Finding value here depends entirely on how well you can navigate a rigid set of socioeconomic boundaries. If you research Ethiopia online, you'll find two conflicting narratives: an undiscovered budget utopia and a volatile conflict zone. Both are true, depending on who you are. First, there is the cultural tourist. You are time poor, prioritizing deep access to historical sites over optimizing your daily living costs. Second, the remote digital nomad. You want to stretch your dollar, hyper-focused on rent arbitrage and maintaining daily urban safety. And third, the career expat. You are looking to leverage long-term, high-paying roles within international organizations. We are going to use this decision tree, the Ethiopia equation, to process the raw data for these three distinct pathways. Accessing Ethiopia's cultural richness and economic leverage safely requires matching your specific goals with the correct geographic and financial tier. Let's run the numbers. The absolute baseline begins at entry. International travelers must secure an e-visa online and physically arrive through this specific checkpoint, Addis Ababa Bole International Airport. Once inside, foreign currency holders experience immense purchasing power. Heavy devaluations of the Ethiopian birr mean dollars and euros stretch incredibly far in the local economy. Look at this traditional Injera platter. Piled with dense meat and lentil stews, a meal large enough to feed 2 people cost roughly $1.50. That extreme pricing extends to real estate. A spacious one-bedroom apartment in highly secure, elite expat neighborhoods like Bole or Kazanchis runs between $200 and $450 a month. But this chart shows the stark local reality beneath those savings. While foreign purchasing power creates a life of cheap luxury, the local median corporate wage sits at a static, staggeringly low $150 per month. Achieving that level of comfort at those prices inherently forces foreigners into a privileged, isolated socioeconomic bubble, entirely separate from the local population. To understand the earning potential here, look at the sheer scale and density of Addis Ababa. If you arrive hoping to integrate into the local job market, you will fail. Dominant sectors like agriculture and leather manufacturing pay wages mathematically incapable of supporting Western living standards. Foreign wealth generation is driven by a few specific sectors. You are targeting multinational logistics, aviation, or high-paying diplomatic roles inside headquarters like this one, the African Union. Landing these roles carries high friction. They require highly specialized prior international experience before you even step foot in the country, and they come with a strict geographic trade-off. Your daily lifestyle is effectively confined to the immediate, heavily guarded blocks surrounding these diplomatic zones. Financial success in Ethiopia means you are either holding an exclusive international contract or you are importing your wealth remotely. You do not build wealth from the local economy. Beyond the economics, there is the geography. Addis Ababa sits at an elite altitude of 2,350 meters. That elevation provides a crisp, comfortable climate year-round, completely devoid of extreme heat. During the daytime, the capital is relatively safe with low violent crime, but in dense economic hubs like the sprawling Mercado, the risk of aggressive pickpocketing is a daily reality. The true draw of the country lies outside the capital. Accessing deep history and ancient sites requires traveling to the northern provinces. This heat map outlines the critical trade-off. While the capital remains a functional green zone, you see flashing red warning areas across northern and border territories due to complex internal political tensions. The mandatory mitigation strategy for tourists is simple. You avoid budget overland travel entirely and rely strictly on secured internal flights, primarily through Ethiopian Airlines. Safe geographic mobility across Ethiopia is an elite privilege. It depends entirely on your willingness to pay for guided, airborne logistics. This quadrant chart brings our data together, plotting budget versus high income on the x-axis and short-term versus long-term stays on the y-axis gives us our final answers. For the career expat, Ethiopia is highly recommended. It offers an incredible arbitrage opportunity and a premium, secure lifestyle if you hold the right contract. For the cultural tourist, we recommend it, but only with vetted guides. The historical sites are immensely rewarding, but they demand rigid logistical planning and an absolute avoidance of budget travel hacks. For the budget nomad, caution is advised. The deep traditional culture and rigid security restrictions cancel out the raw rent savings. The friction is simply too high. Beneath the charts and data, the reality of the country is found in its slow, deliberate, and deeply religious ancient traditions. Does the sheer leverage of living in an uncolonized ancient cradle of humanity truly outweigh its strict regional restrictions? Let us know your decision in the comments below. Next up, we calculate the costs of a tropical ocean paradise, Fiji. Subscribe to stay real.